Well, a new report published by the State Chamber's research arm gives us a look into how Oklahoma's business climate stacks up with other states. Joining me now is the study's author, Mike Seney. Well, first of all, I've read the study, I know what I think. I want to hear what you think about it.
It's a good report. We started this report about 5 years ago, Rob. Our board of directors said we needed to figure out a way to actually quantify Oklahoma in comparison to other states in the nation, and specifically in our region. I used to say in our neighboring states, but somebody pointed out that Louisiana was in my group, and it's not really a neighboring state, so I changed that to regional. It's a very good report. We are a very strong, healthy economic state. We're fourth highest in business climate for the nation, third lowest in cost of living for businesses to look at. That's important stuff for them to look at.
Now, I see that we've also been able to raise our exports, but they're still relatively low.
Our exports are about $5.5 billion, and that's about 50 to 75% higher than it was about 3 years ago. It's very low nationally. It's about 45th, 46th in the country. There's a reason for that. Exports are only counted if they're exported internationally and if they're direct from the state. Our agriculture products are exports internationally. Our oil and gas is usually not exported except outside the state. If we make a part of a plane and it goes to Seattle to be put on a plane at Boeing, Washington State gets the export credit because they're the ones that ship the complete plane to somebody else overseas. We don't get the credit for that.
Let me also ask you about R&D. That was another area where we still are still trying to get up there.
Yeah, we spent about $900 million to $1 billion in research and development in this state. One of the keys is that a lot of our manufacturing base, which is very strong in this state, it's about 12% of our gross state product and has about 135,000 workers in the manufacturing base. Most of those manufacturing headquarters are not here in this state. They're outside the state, and usually the R&D facilities are with the headquarters. Now, in the oil and gas industry, that's just flipped. A lot of our research and development in the oil and gas industry and in the biotech sciences is done here in Oklahoma.
And we're talking about a lot of these technology-based companies. I do see venture capital has moved up from 42nd to 37th. Good news.
Not just that, not just the ranking, but the fact that we doubled the amount of venture capital in the state. We went from $6.5 million to $13 million. That's still way too low. But venture capital is something that we are just beginning to grow better at attracting into the state.
When you're out selling Oklahoma, from this report, what do you tell folks?
Oklahoma, and I used to run a manufacturing operation. I had plants on the East Coast, the West Coast, North Carolina. Oklahoma is literally the center of the North American continent.
Crossroads.
It is the crossroads. If you drew a line north and south from Canada, top Canada, the end of Mexico, and east and west, it crosses somewhere up in Nebraska, but who cares? The interstate highways cross here. This is a distribution point for all of America coming through here. So if you're going to put your distribution centers here, we have a tremendously good higher education system. Our career tech system is one of the best in the world, not just in the United States, but one of the best in the world. We have a wonderful, talented pool of skilled workers. And we recognize the importance of jobs in this state. We're a great place to do business. It's interesting. Corporations have difficulty getting people to move to Oklahoma. But once they come here, you can't pry them out of here. I was that way. I had a company that brought me here, and 35 years later, I'm still here.
Well, Mike, thanks so much for joining us, and I want to continue our conversation on our website at okhorizon.com.